Good evening, lamb chops. It is I, your favorite fluffy vampire Bluma. Hope we're doing good. Oh, hi. Oh, hi. Wonder what this arc will be about. Yeah, man. I'm so excited. This kid is tripping. I was like, yeah, man. The vibes. God, it's so good. So good. Yes, we are finally in the third arc. Tatarigoroshi. I'm never gonna say that correctly. This is one of my favorite arcs. Yes. Yes, it is. I'm so excited. So like the first arc. Good morning, Antimatter. So like the first arc, right, was Reina. The next one was Mion and Shion. Mostly Mion, I would say. It was more about Mion than Shion. This one is gonna be about Satoko. So let's go. Right. She's one of my favorite characters in this series. What else was there about this one? I think I kind of talked about it. Like, the guy who wrote all of Higurashi, before he was an author, he worked as like a social worker in Japan. And so you're going to see a lot, that influence is going to come through a lot clearer in this arc, I will say. And I put it, let's see, Tatarigoroshi means the demon killing arc. So, I feel like she hasn't been characterized much yet. Fair. It's like she's going to get her own arc right now. But yeah, basically all these question arcs are going to be Keiichi interacting with one of the main people, so we can kind of get that side of that arc. And then when we get the answer arcs, we'll be doing it from, you know, someone else's point of view. What? No way. But yes, we're going to get right into it. I'm so excited. Let's get this. Let's get this bread. The shortest scenario. Man, curse or coincidence. How are the conjectures inside you solidifying? I look forward to whether those conjectures will waver or become a cornerstone in this scenario. The difficulty is the worst. You'll probably not be able to make conjectures. Is there an arc that'll focus on Keiichi? Bruh, every arc focus is Keiichi's the main character. It's just like how Keiichi's interacting with whatever girl it's picked. You never got to play this one, so you're excited too. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Start. I didn't like that. The snake in the well was happy, for it did not care the outside well. The snake in the well was happy, for it had not to do with what happened outside the well. And you were happy too, for you did not know what happened outside the well. You need one where he faces that copium addiction? Bruh. Not creepy at all, exactly. Very heartwarming. A child's laughter. Mm-hmm. It was a very humid day. Not even a slight breeze was blowing. It had been an unpleasant summer, one that wasn't only hot, but swelteringly so. There were various articles of clothing hung out to dry in the messy apartment windows, but the lack of wind invoked an impression far removed from the coolness. In fact, it only felt more oppressive. There were crooked houses and apartments lining the narrow, twisted road. In addition, there were planters and flower pots whose contents were beginning to rot, as well as bicycles and cars on the sides of the road, making it even more cramped, more oppressive, and all the more sweltering. Nobody who was in this place at this time was visiting it voluntarily, but in spite of what everyone might expect, a single motorcycle came rolling in. The lone motorcycle, which couldn't be called neat, even as flattery, pulled up to a 2-story apartment complex and stopped there. A man, fairly old and wrinkled, stepped off. When the housewife hanging the laundry noticed him, she called out, "Well, hello there! It's quite a hot day today again, isn't it?" "Oh, you got that right. I feel like I'm gonna boil out here." "Oh, right, landlord. I didn't think you'd be the first thing you said. Oh, sorry. The fluorescent lights, right? I completely forgot. No, not that. Don't you smell it? There's a terrible smell about. I've been smelling it since this morning. Wait, what's this? It reeks. Did the sewers get backed up again? Do something about it, landlord. I've had to keep my nose plugged all day long. You'd still look plenty lovely plugging your nose, dear. Wow, what a riz lord. Charisma 100. You'd look pretty even if there was something in your nose. There was an unhygienic drainage channel running behind the apartment. The lattice from which it flowed was stuffed with branches and fallen leaves, and when filth got caught up in them, it created an awful stench in the summertime. Could you tell the municipal office about it? The drain will end up buried at this rate. Well, yikes. It's completely blocked. I'll start it back up and poke it with a stick. The man crossed the fence over the drainage channel and picked up a filthy drying pole sitting nearby. Man needs to save some for the rest of us. Speech 100. He must have planned to stick it in the drain and clear it out. Wait, landlord, stop that. If you mix it all strange, if you do that, it'll smell terrible. It smells if it's clogged, and it smells if it's mixed. What should I choose? He shoved the drying pole in the filth in the lattice. Of course it did nothing to help the accumulation of waste. Yuck. It's a dead cat. This is the health center's job. Cats and dogs smell awful when they die. A bamboo pole's not going to do much good. Garbage bags, old clothes, they throw all kinds of stuff in there. And is that a duck I see? Well, of course it stinks. The nerve of some people. The drainage channel is already unsanitary. What was a little more garbage at this point? The stream of the now impudent people of never ending, and now this channel had turned into a garbage dump. When he poked the pile of old clothes floating in the sewage, a black cloud of smoke floated out of the water. The two of them grimaced at the terribly bizarre and repulsive sight. Ugh, we got maggots, huh? Someone must have thrown kitchen waste in. What? Landlord, what's that? What? Just more garbage. The landlord, that's... Huh? Eh? Eh? Oh, hello. Good work today. Ugh, that terrible stench. Hey, someone cover this thing with a tarp. It's in plain sight of the 2-floor houses. Identity of the deceased unknown. Sex, female. Age, estimated to be late 20s or early 30s. Time of death, about 2 or 3 days ago. She was probably abandoned after death. Naked, too. Figuring out who she'll be will be rough. Found a body, yeah. Contact the community division and ask if anyone's gone missing. They probably weighed her down so she'd sink. Then the weights came off and she floated to the top. Oh my god. I just noticed how loud this is getting. Oh my god. But why the drainage of the sewer of all things? Would have been better under an overpass or in the mountains, you know. It would have been outside our jurisdiction, right? But it looks like they never wanted to hide the corpse at all. Did they do it so she would be found? As a warning or something? This slice in her stomach definitely wasn't from a fish eating her. She was cut open and her insides dragged out. They really made a show of killing her. Doesn't the Chinese mafia do these sorts of traditional punishments? Ask Shige-san in Section 4 if he's had any trouble with the Yakuza. On it, sir. Still, what a terrible way to go. Hey, don't her innards poking out like that sort of look like a salad soba you can get in Kyoto? Bro, what the fuck? Maybe if you stuck chopsticks in, noodles would pop out. See? Ugh. Please, give me a break. Her intestines were pulled out and her ears and nose cut off. There's definitely not how I want to go. Her fingers are in a bad state, too. They had long nails stuck in all of them on both hands. What kind of torture was this, anyway? Higurashi, When They Cry. Did you catch that? Did you catch that? There was long nails in her hands, like, you know, how Mion was gonna do to Keiichi in the last book. Ah! Anyway. The most relaxing time during the school day? Lunch, for sure. Everyone brought their desks side by side like always, and we ate together.
Oh my! Mion-san, if I may say, your lunch looks quite appetizing today.
But imagine seeing a murder victim and thinking, oh, that reminds me of a salad. I know, right? Bro's kind of fucked up. There are many different things. It's wonderful. Satoko and Rika-chan looked at Mion's lunch, shouting gladly. Let's have a look. Oh shoot, you think this one's gonna be related to the second one? I just packed some leftovers from last night. All the elders were having a drinking party at my house yesterday. I managed to nab some of what they didn't eat.
So that's why they all look like little snacks you could have with sake.
They're but leftovers, mere scraps of food, but when arranged in a bento box so cleanly, they look impressive. It looks like part of a full-course meal at a high-class restaurant. People seem to decide if they things mainly based on their first impression, so I thought maybe the taste of a bento would be proportional to how pretty it was when you opened it.
You may seem unrefined, Mion-san, but you are positively splendid at arranging food like this. Her room is nice and tidy, too. Mi-chan is a lot more organized and polite than everyone thinks.
It's all the same once it's in your stomach. I'd have thought Mion would say something like that, but I guess she has this kind of taste. You can't judge a book by its cover. Mion was careful in everything she did. She never misstepped, faltered, or messed up. I see. She is our club president after all.
Yours is nothing to scoff at either, Reina. Your crab kamaboko flower is very pretty.
You know, Reina, your lunch always has, like, an art to it. Like, it has rabbit-shaped apple slices and carrot flowers and stuff. Reina's bento wasn't all about taste. It was like she always puts her heart into it or something. It wasn't just good. It made your insides all nice and warm.
Thanks. It's not quite as good as Mi-chan's, but I wanted to make it really cute, ho.
Cooking isn't about skill, it's about love. In that sense, I don't even come up to your feet. Love, huh? Yeah. Just from looking at her bento, I could definitely feel that Reina put her heart and soul into making it. That was her bento was like.
The taste isn't all that counts for a bento. How it looks also matters. I suppose we must learn from that, too.
Huh. So let's see Satoko and Rika-chan's up-and-coming bento. What? It makes your insides all nice and warm? Yeah, it's because of the sake. Ta-da!
Woohoo! Yesterday our neighbors shared some meat with us, so we ended up grilling it for our bento.
These ones, too. They had such an impact. They were bursting with the seams with grilled meat. At a glance, it was too impactful for a girl's bento, but when you thought about eating it all your friends, it brought more than enough color to the table. Wow. At first it looks like the kind of crude bento a jock would eat, but there are so many different things in there. Like boiled spinach and soy sauce and stewed hijiki.
Rika-chan, you're really good at that kind of unaffected cooking, huh? Yep. I think Rika-chan will make a great wife when she grows up. I have a tight hold on my future husband.
A husband for Rika-chan, huh? At first that sounded appealing. It did, but I felt like a married life with her would be anything but normal. But really, everyone was amazing. They were all so young, and yet they're capable of cooking for themselves. I was sort of a cook whenever I went camping with my family, but making lunch every day was a level I definitely couldn't reach. I could only cook in my spare time. When I thought about it like that, it really made everyone stand out more. Frankly, I respected them. Huh? I feel like maybe this doesn't only I feel like maybe this doesn't apply to other people. Come to think of it, this morning, When I was eating breakfast, half asleep, I think my mom was saying something really important. Ah! With a hysterical groan, I suddenly stood up, startling everyone at once. What's wrong? Wrong!
You'll make us choke if you shout like that suddenly, you know.
There's rice coming from your nose, Satoko. This version of Keiichi sounds way more reserved. He kinda is. I'd forgotten. All the stuff about cooking for yourself, it applied to me too. Oh, I forgot my lunch. Of course they're doing the creepy music for this. Ah, never mind. Yeah. Then he did that shit. He had us for a moment. He had us in the first half.
Keiichi, your mom and dad need to go to Tokyo for business.
Yeah? Oh. Sleepy. Your dad's mentor fell ill right before an event he was taking part in. It's a very important event, and they need someone to fill in. Well, Dad does have what he has for his job. Choo-choo.
It's your dad and I, you see. We need to go to Tokyo as fast as we can to help with the event. We might have to stay there for a few days depending on what happens.
That sounds annoying. While we're gone, we won't be here, so you'll need to make your own meals yourself. Are you okay with that, Keiichi? I'll be fine. Humans can do anything when they're desperate.
Is that so? Well, that's a relief. You can at least cook rice, right? And make your own miso soup. Then you just buy some side dishes and you'll have a meal.
A meal? Yeah, I can cook rice with my camping kit. Never used a rice cooker before. Nom nom. I've only ever made instant miso soup when you make it in a pot of boiling water, too. Well, I'll think of something. Choo choo choo.
If you can cook for yourself, then you don't need much money, do you? No eating out. It's too expensive. You're at the age where you should learn about cooking and personal finances now, after all.
Yep. I'll get by. No, I won't! What was I thinking? I was half asleep and I made such a crazy, empty promise. Just like manga characters always do at the times like these, I bent over backwards and scratched fiercely at my head. Scratch, scratch.
Huh? Keiichi-kun, your parents sure have it rough. Anyway, you need to keep things in order while they're gone.
Anyway, food! My parents aren't here. I have to make it all myself now, you know? This is a huge emergency. He's just like me, for real.
Should you not simply give up and cook for yourself? Keiichi-san, did you not make a fabulous curry dish for the curry party previously?
Listen here. My mom taught me how to cook that curry when we camped. That's the best I can do. I can't eat curry for 3 meals a day. I mean, it's just junk food in the first place. There's no nutritional balance whatsoever, and it's just completely... stupid. Shh! Mio and Satoko put their hands over my mouth. A moment later, the door rattled open, and Chie-sensei, known as the Curry Manic, suddenly poked her head in. Forgetful AF, yeah, just like me. Did I hear someone bad-mouthing Curry? No, we didn't say anything. Everyone's faces went totally white, and they all shook their heads in denial. Her eyes rolled over the classroom. Her glare wasn't just a teacher's ordinary stare. Is that so? Must have been the wind. Chie-sensei gave one more look around the classroom, then closed the door and went back to the teacher's lounge. I may have been shouting, but for her to hear it all the way across the hall from the teacher's lounge, that teacher is terrifying. Kei-chan, you can disparage other foods all you want, but you might not want to stay away from curry. At least as long as you live in Hinamizawa. Okay. Sorry. That's what I said. But still, I can't have curry for every meal. A cup ramen is good because I only eat it once in a while. If you ate it for every meal, you'd get bored pretty quick. Rice and miso soup? In a good side dish. Yeah, that's what a Japanese table should look like. Chie-sensei, my curry senses are tingling. Yeah, exactly.
Why can't you just try and cook for yourself? Rice you make yourself is really good.
This old man thinks it's more pain than good. Experience it every once in a while might be nice.
That's right. Life is about experiences, right? But when you cut your fingers or burn yourself, it's so sad. So very sad. With everyone encouraging me like this, I started to feel like maybe I could do it if I tried too. Though, approximately one person didn't sound like she was encouraging me. Cooking is a skill I should have to learn at some point, since I want to live on my own one day. Maybe learning now wouldn't be so bad. I'm pretty uneasy about it, but you're right. If I don't understand how to cook a few things around here, then I won't be in a good shape next time our club does a cooking showdown. Oh, you are correct. That clever trick of yours is the last curry contest. Won't work every time after— oh shit, I think there's— whatever. As if scorning me, Satoko ridicules my comeback from a hopeless situation in a certainly do or die curry showdown. And what are you so relaxed for? You relied entirely on Rika-chan back then, didn't you? What did you cook at that time exactly? You put a bag of salt in Reina's curry, a bag of salt in Rion's rice, and then you flip over my pan. I relapsed into my grudge over the last curry showdown. For now, I calm my unquellable anger by pinching Satoko's ears. Ow! My attack was because that's what you were doing for a club. I may not look it, but I can do a little bit of cooking. Do or doy, let's go. Listen. Can you now? Even when you couldn't peel one carrot during that showdown and had to go get Rika to do it. Don't be so daft. People get better every day, you know. If you think you'll always be crummy at cooking, then you're quite mistaken. Right, Rika? I have to watch or else I get worried about the pot and the flame. Sometimes you forget to turn the gas off, too. Everyone burst into laughter. That shouldn't be an issue with cooking. Even I would never do that. I don't want to hear it from someone who eats nothing but cup ramen. But, Satoko, can you cook pretty well for herself, you know? Reina's fine, but I don't need to force yourself to cover up for her like that. Nah, she's not trying to cover for her or anything. It's just Rika-chan's cooking is by far the best of all of us, so hers doesn't stand out. Satoko has mastered the basics too, right? At the very least, she can cook rice and miso soup. Well, she can't quite tell the difference between cauliflower and broccoli yet, though. They're both the same anyway once you boil them. Satoko erupted into anger, making two fists and swinging them above her head. Everyone laughed a lot after that. Nah, the others don't matter. I cannot stand being laughed at by you, though, Keiichi-san. Yes, perhaps I do lag behind everyone else in terms of cooking, but at least I'm confident I'd never lose to you, Satoko. Not to you, at least. What was that? You have the gall to say you're confident? That's what's daft here. I might not seem like a good cook, but I take turns with Rika, you know. It's okay, Satoko. There's no difference between them. Yeah, none at all. Absolutely not. I see. Good for you being all able to cook. I'll buy some candy for you as a present later. I patted Satoko on the head while I made fun of her. Satoko seemed to know I was making fun of her, too, since her face went bright red very quickly, and steam started to pour out like she was a kettle. Nah! You don't believe me, do you? Anyway, I can cook far better than you can, Keiichi-san. I see. Then if you can tell me the difference between cauliflower and broccoli, I'll believe you. Come on, let's hear it. The green one is broccoli. Or, no. The yellow one? Cauliflower is red? Blue? Green? Nah. Come on now. What color is broccoli? It's not red, blue, green, like television. Come on, say it. Say it. Satoko can cook just fine without no... Oh, shit.
peek on me? Yeah. Satoko can cook just fine without knowing what color broccoli is. White? Good for you. Good for you.
Stupid KK.
Oh, it's nothing to cry hysterically about. She's just so goddamn cute. I stroked her head as hard as I could. Ruffle, ruffle. If you're gonna act so smug, then you can surely show us something better than Satoko, remarked Mion, giving me the slightly mean smile. Cauliflower's the blue one, Satoko. Yeah, back her up. But the situation carried me along, and I decided to deliver an impressive declaration. Just you wait. Tonight, I'll make the best darn meal you've ever seen. I'll even add a little too much pack, so there's lunch tomorrow, and you'll be surprised you'll fall over. That sounds like fun. I can't wait for lunchtime tomorrow. Rika-chan patted me on the head. Her words of can't wait sounded transparent.
Reina's excited too. I promise I won't be a laugh, no matter what you make.
Alright, so maybe I'll go all out on my bento tomorrow too. Then, let's do this. Let's have a bento showdown. Tomorrow. As a club activity, of course. Broccoli's the purple one. Oh wow, you guys really backing her up. And we'll throw in a punishment game, too.
My, what an egregious idea that is. How is that, Keiichi-san? I'll give you one chance to back down.
Oh wow, they fucked that up. Satoko wiped her tears and snarled at me, as if this was her chance to turn things around. Mion's smug face, yeah, it's pretty good. Backing her up, but she's right. Yeah. Maybe this is bad. I feel like maybe the conversation was getting pretty out of hand. Oh, if I apologize, now's my chance. But what came out of my way, Keiichi Maibaro's mouth, was a statement so reckless it even frightened me. Yeah, you're wrong. My bento tomorrow will knock you right out of the shoes. Right out of your shoes. Ooh. Everyone raised their voices in surprise at my bold, confident reply. Ugh, now I've done it. What have I done? I'm so irresponsible.
So, Mion-san, what sort of fantastic punishment game will we have to play if we lose?
Satoko grinned fearlessly, as if to say it was already decided I'd be playing said fantastic punishment game. Let's see. Okay, how about this? Whoever loses tomorrow's bento showdown, during lunch break tomorrow, has to go up to Chie-sensei as she's eating in the teacher's lounge and say bad things about curry.
Mi-chan! That's... How terrifying.
Everyone went pale and gasped at how truthfully terrifying that punishment game was. Keiichi didn't apologize. Oh my god, facts. Keiichi didn't apologize. Oh my god. Chie-sensei is such a maniac about curry that she'd risk her life for it. And to go up to her and start saying bad things about curry? What kind of fate would await us? Just trying to imagine it was scary. And as everyone looked blankly amazed at the terrifying punishment game, Rika-chan spoke. Tomorrow's contest will be decided by skill. Reina and Mion and Satoko. Everyone nodded deeply in agreement.
Alright.
Oh, shit.
Although, Keiichi-san's problem right now might be his own dinner tonight rather than tomorrow's bento.
How disappointing that you can't witness what an amazing dinner I'm gonna make tonight. I'll let you have a glimpse of it in my bento tomorrow. Look forward to it.
That's quite a lot of grandstanding. You do know what will happen if you come to us with something terrible, right?
I just can't wait. How much trouble you'll be in with Chie-sensei tomorrow, Satoko.
Yeah, I can't wait either. To see you, Keiichi-san, groveling before her and begging for forgiveness.
Saying it with all the tears streaming down your face. Oh shit.
Saying it with all those tears streaming down your face. Yes, I can just see it now.
What was that? Yank.
Ah!
Both of us, now on the verge of tears, pull each other's cheeks. Trying to muster all your desperation by placing yourself in a predicament? Kei-chan, that's so manly.
That isn't manly or anything of the sort. It's called being reckless. He can't even cook well. Reina believes in you. I'm looking forward to your wonderful bento.
I'm looking forward very much to seeing Keiichi's tomorrow, too. Their expectant gazes were painful. I was just trying to tease Satoko a little. How did it come to this? Yeah, you better look forward to it. How am I able to say such reckless things? I'm being so unreasonable. What the heck is gonna happen to my dinner? And the bento showdown tomorrow? No. More importantly, if they make me say bad things about Kurita-chi Sensei's face, what'll happen to me? The extreme contrast between our outward bravado and my internal screaming continued as the hot and humid June afternoon dragged on. That entire day, up until school was over, the whole time, my meal tonight and my bento tomorrow were the only things on my mind. And now that I've thought about it, it made Mom seem amazing for planning 3 meals every day of the year. I've complained before about having the same meal in a row once in a while, but now I know how rude that was. Ugh. More importantly, what am I gonna do about the punishment game tomorrow? You passed out. Oh hi, Rusu. Welcome in. And besides that, what am I gonna eat tonight? Boo-hoo.
Hey, Keiichi-kun? Keiichi-kun?
Huh? Oh, sorry. I was just thinking about stuff.
About what to make tonight? Or about the bento showdown tomorrow?
Ugh. She hit the mark, and I couldn't find anything to say. Yeah, don't worry about it. Go nap, bro. Go lay down, close the eyes, and just honk shoe, honk shoe. My facial expression made it obvious the fact that she hit the mark.
For tomorrow's showdown, I think that if you do your best to make a bento, you'll be fine. There's nothing superior to a bento you tried really hard to make all by yourself.
Tomorrow's showdown is one thing, but what about tonight's dinner? I might suddenly get food poisoning. I couldn't make any more bluffs. I exaggeratedly dropped my shoulders and heaved a sigh from the bottom of my gut. Reina laughed in a shrill way when she saw me do that.
Keiichi-kun, if you don't have any confidence in your cooking at all, do you?
So I've been found out. Ugh.
If it looks like you can't do it no matter how hard you try, you can always give Reina a call.
But, really?
But only if you try really hard first, okay? You can't rely on others without first struggling yourself.
Reina seemed naive, but sometimes she was really instructive. She didn't just spoil people unconditionally. Reina always seemed like an adult at these moments. If I absolutely can't do it, I'll call you. Though, the chances are extremely high.
Go for it! Yeah! You are grandstanding so much to Satoko-chan that you have to try your best.
You don't have any confidence, do you? IDK seemed pretty confident about 20 minutes ago. Facts. Hey, about Satoko. How good is she at cooking?
She's at least better than you.
That was really direct. It hit me really hard.
You were making fun of her a lot, too. Maybe you should have struggled just a little, huh?
Ugh, Reina, you're kind of mean.
Reina isn't all cute, all cute.
And now that I've provoked Satoku that much, I can't just make some crummy bento. Ugh, I can't believe how loose-lipped I am.
Okay, bye. Good luck. On the cooking. Show everyone that you can do it and really try.
Yeah. I waved my hand absently in response. Leaving me with the words of encouragement and a few pieces of upper beginner advice, Rana disappeared past the trees. I don't feel like we ever got that shot before either. The, like, shot of Keiichi's house in the distance. Gotta sip my water, bro. Alright, what we doing? Fine. I'm desperate. So what? I may not know about the ABCs of navigation, and I have neither a sea chart nor a compass. But still, one idiot taking on the ocean of the great cooking age alone. And his name is Keiichi Maibara. Let's go. Time to cook. My enthusiasm is peerless. If energy and recklessness was all it took, I could take over the world. However, there are plenty of things in the world that can't be achieved with resolution alone, and cooking was probably a top contender. Therefore, even if it was hastily prepared knowledge, I wanted something to help me. I made up my mind and fished through the kitchen cabinets. I was on the hunt for a cookbook. My mom should have a few of them. For a complete amateur like me, the first thing I needed was information. Just like he, who has crossed oceans, needed a compass. For me, a cookbook was absolutely indispensable. Ah, here's one. It was worn out. Wrinkled cover made it feel somehow reliable. Back? That was a really short nap, Ryusu. You sure you don't need a more nap? Okay, as long as I've got this. Well, it's easier to give it a shot than think about it, right? Anyone can conduct the tastes of a gourmet chef as long as they have a cookbook. Cookbooks are great! And as such an optimistic thoughts filled my chest, I flipped through the pages. However... Whoa. It played with technical terminology like toys. I just couldn't see how to actually make things. Ugh, you knew it all along, Keiichi Maibara. Yes, you're sure? Okay. If anyone can make delicious food just by reading a book, then there would be no such job as a gourmet chef in the first place. First off, it calls for 3 teaspoons. But what spoon is that? And it keeps saying to use however much you like. How much exactly are you supposed to use? Stop using such obscure expressions. Nah, not me trying to learn to cook from like Grandma's sheep. Her being like, add a dash of this and a pinch of that. I'm like, whose dash? My dash or your dash? Like, you can easily beat Keiichi in a cooking battle. I mean, yeah, probably. We've seen nothing but shit from him. Strain out the water in a colander? Add salt and pepper to taste? What the heck is a colander? Oh god, bro. And strain it out? Like, stretch it? You can't stretch water droplets like meat. Ugh. And besides, how much salt and pepper is supposed to be anyway? Great game. Hell yeah, it is, Jack. Hell yeah. It do be like that, yeah. Ugh. Aren't there any beginner-friendly guides in here? It won't do any good to yell. Cool off, Keiichi Maibara. Think calmly. Calmly. For now, I'll leave the side dish until after. The rice is more important. Have to cook the rice or I can't start. I know a little about how to cook rice. I didn't cook it with a camping kit when camping all the time for nothing. I'll wash the rice. That should be enough water. And, which switch is it? Is it this bottom? Oh, the lamp turned on. Yeah. Fully automatic rice cookers are one of the 3 sacred treasures after all. Now pleased by the rice cooker set, I pulled myself together and decided to make miso soup next. The miso soup I made at day camp was all instant kind after all. Well, it would be fine if I just melted the miso into the hot water, no doubt. I'll boil the water and put in the miso. Huh? How much should I put in? Let's see here. Use the proper amount according to the number of people and your taste? Colander. Shaking my head. Uncle Roger be right. Uncle Roger be flipping his shit when he saw how much water Keiichi put in there. He's like, use your finger to measure water. Boom. Enough with the vague expressions. Ugh, fine. I'll put in the proper amount. I crushed the bag of miso with my fist and put in half its contents to the pot. Was that really okay? Maybe it was a little too hearty. They do say miso soup is best when it tastes strong. And come to think of it, my mom's miso soup is a little thin. Maybe I'll like it better with this much in it. I said it aloud as if trying to convince myself. Yeah, I feel that. Every now and then I gotta hype myself up. I said it aloud. Oh yeah. Then I convinced with my own words, I nodded to myself. Alright, the rice and miso soup were probably fine. Next, the side dish. But what should I make? Something I could make that would add color to the meal. That's it. Why don't I stir-fry some vegetables? You can eat vegetables raw, too. They won't die just from a little bit of fire. I was so cute then, not realizing the level of my thoughts had fallen from what would look great in a meal to what could you easily make. Confidence 100. There were quite a few vegetables in the fridge. What kind of vegetables go in stir-fry? Bean sprouts? Cabbage? Chives? Onions? Can you put cucumbers and lettuce in? For now, I grabbed a nearby cutting board, cut it into chunks, and tossed them in the wok. This has gotten pretty exciting. Is the true worth of a man cooking? Hey, this is actually getting kind of fun. All of a sudden, there was a pile of vegetables in the wok. Alright, next, salad oil. Glug, 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 glug. It'd be more exciting if I filled it to the brim. Oh my Jesus, don't do that. Oh no. Whoops, a little bit leaked out. Well, no point in worrying about something so minor. The great Keiichi Maebara's cooking is exciting. Okay, let's turn on the heat. Yeah, now we have a kitchen fire because you put so much oil in it. Yeah. Eh? Stream gone. Still going. Still going. Oh, okay, good. Phone just couldn't handle blue mic. Whoosh. The salad oil filling the wok to the brim caught fire. The flames reached for the sky. Amazing. Maybe I can be an Iron Chef too, Keiichi, my brother in Christ. Your kitchen's on fire. Wow, maybe I'm really good at cooking with fire. Those words were spoken by delusion. I was saying something outrageously careless, but when the words came out, they sort of convinced me. Oh my god. Well, looks like this... Yeah, no wonder it said that this was the short arc, right? This is where Keiichi dies already. Starts over, you know? Yes, I am the Iron Chef. Ooh, hot, 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 hot. Right as the crazy pillar of flame started to burn the ceiling, I finally realized that the fabulous cooking before my eyes was accumulating to an actual life-threatening disaster. Wait. What? Could I have been doing something insane? The force of the flames grew stronger and stronger. Wait. What? What? Ah! What in the world are you doing? You must stop the flames this instant. Kerflick. Somebody forcefully struck me in the back of the head. When I turned around to see what was going on, to my surprise, it was Satoko and Rika-chan there. Eh? Satoko? Rika-chan? As I stood in wonder at their unexpected entrance, Satoko shoved me out of the way and turned off the gas. Then Rika-chan got a towel, soaked it in water, and spread it out, placing it over the pot. She continued to soak more towels and put a second on, then a third. Once the whole bunch were piled on, the fire finally stopped. All of it had happened in only a few moments. Wow, OD'd on copium real fast there. Yeah, for real, this was probably the fastest we see him huffing that copium. That was a world record. Having avoided a huge fire by a hair's breadth, the three of us gasped for air. Wait, what are you doing in my house? You're trespassing on private property, my brother in Christ.
Yes, well, Keiichi-san, you've been caught red-handed in the act of arson. It was just about to turn into a huge building fire, wasn't it? It would be very, very sad if Keiichi was homeless after this.
And after pretending to be an Iron Chef, I finally began to take on the situation. Copium percent, world record, Keiichi, yeah. So, that was really about to set the house on fire?
Is that not obvious? Just look at it. The ceiling's all sooty, is it not? Chimneys are the only things that should be sooty.
Satoko was seriously mad at me. Maybe they saved my life. Maybe they saved my life, bro. Bro. According to what they said, I was so absorbed in my fire cooking that I hadn't noticed when Satoko and Rika-chan rang the doorbell. But they could tell someone was home, so they came in to check. Thank goodness they did. If Satoko hadn't come in, the fire engines would have been going wee-oo, wee-oo right about now.
Keiichi-san, do you understand how serious this was?
At some point, I had sat down on my knees and listened obediently. I'm sorry. You two saved my life.
We thought you would come to see what fabulous dinner you were making. But as we thought, it's just a mess. At this rate, we don't even need to look at your bento.
You're so mean. So Rika-chan came all this way just to see what I'd make for dinner?
Us being mean saved your house and your life. Is that not something to take to heart?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Satoko-chan. At this point, having shown them such a disaster, I couldn't exactly make any more bluffs. I completely surrendered.
And yet you tried really hard on the curry. Where did that Keiichi-san go from back then? Jeez.
I had all of our underclassmen help me then, and just borrowed entire pots from other teams. I didn't really cook anything.
Keiichi-san, you cheated? Jeez. You might have been doing what our club usually does, but that was terrible.
Pouring salt into the other team's pots seemed far more terrible to me, but Satoko was in control right now, so I didn't respond. I obediently hung my head to hear. The Soon is strong with Satoko. Yeah.
By the way, Keiichi-san, this is a terrible pot. This wasn't supposed to be for miso soup, was it?
Satoko stared at the pot, totally full of miso, with an awful expression. So I really did get the wrong amount. Judging by the look on Satoko's face, whatever was in the pot couldn't be called miso soup anymore. To be fair, she's getting some well-earned smug time gloating. Yeah, that's true. Forget the miso soup. The rice should be cooked just fine. Rice cookers these days are pretty convenient. It should be just about done.
It's not cooked. See? The inside is still all watery.
Huh? What? But I switched it on and the little light came on.
Keiichi-san, the button you pushed was the timer, alright? It's set for breakfast, so it won't turn on until tomorrow morning.
So then what? In the end, I didn't have a side dish or miso soup. Or even rice. I couldn't make anything myself.
It serves you right. So, have you finally realized your place? Come, admit it. Say it. I, Keiichi Maibara, am all bark and not much crummier cook than Satoko Hojo-san.
Yeah, I'm a terrible person and I'm a crummier cook than Satoko. I beg your forgiveness. Ow. 10 out of 10 cooking there, Keiichi. Starting to think Keiichi can't cook. Nah, He can't cook, not in any sense of the word either. I fainted in agony. Rika-chan pat my head, satisfied at the sight, and Satoko laughed loudly in triumph. I have completely lost. Just like the Raiden Shogun. Exactly, bro. In the end, I talked big, but couldn't make a single dish adequately. At this rate, I'm gonna go without dinner. And tomorrow morning, no breakfast, and no bento for lunch either. I didn't know how many days it would be before my parents returned, but at this rate, without a doubt, I'll starve to death. Meh. Of course I'll have no bento tomorrow either. Meh. And I'm sure to get a punishment game tomorrow. Meh. Rika-chan kept on patting my head with a smile on her face that it couldn't possibly get any bigger. Satoko, completely appalled at how unsightly I looked, heaved a heavy sigh.
Adult men are just so pathetic, aren't they? Come on. Please move yourself out of the way.
As I sobbed like a girl, Satoko, displeased, brushed me aside and dumped the remains of the miso soup into the sink, tidy, and then began to rinse out the pot. But he isn't hot, nor is he a mommy. It's facts, actually. Yeah. Don't worry about it, Satoko. I can at least clean up after my own mess. I couldn't have Satoko clean up the cooking utensils I made a mess of. But when I tried to stop her, Rika-chan pulled on my clothes.
Keiichi, you just be silent and watch.
She grinned as she said it. Be quiet and watch? What are you saying, Rika-chan?
She meant what she said. Keiichi-san, just be quiet and leave this to me.
Satoko turned around, declared, and seemingly unbothered, as if to say the amateurs should keep their hands off. Her annoyed expression was a little scary. Leave what to you? Satoko didn't answer. Instead, she spun back around and began to rifle through the pots in the refrigerator. Hey, wait, don't mess with that too much. If you turn that place inside out, my mom might get mad at me later.
Would you just be quiet already? Men aren't supposed to enter the kitchen. Rika!
Aye, aye, sir. Satoko snapped her fingers, and Rika-chan got on her tiptoes, grabbing me by the back of the neck and starting to drag me away. Leaving Satoko alone in the kitchen, Rika-chan dragged me back to the living room. Hey, stop, Rika-chan! Let me go already! If we leave it to Satoko, the kitchen will be a disaster.
Satoko came to see how she beat you today. It's her revenge.
Revenge? Come to think of it, her face looked kind of grim. Eventually, from the kitchen, there was a sound of a faucet being twisted and a stove dial being turned. I began to hear the nostalgic sounds that made me envision dinner time. The refrigerator opening and closing, ingredients being cut on the cutting board. But what did it mean? Was Satoko... was she cooking?
Keiichi made fun of her quite a lot. Satoko wanted to show you that she can cook proper meals too.
Just listening to it like this. There haven't been any sounds of blood spilling or bursting or explosions. At this point, at least, she had proven she was a more skillful cook than me. Men are supposed to enter the kitchen? Dude, I've been entering the kitchen since I was like 7. In the cooking showdown with Satoko Hojo versus Keiichi Maibara, it looked like victory had already been decided. Let her cook. It's facts. There we go. Like, actually, literally. Let her cook. I recalled Satoko's slightly annoyed expression from before. I was making fun of Satoko too much today, wasn't I? Is she holding a grudge? We were just provoking each other with our usual back and forth. But I also think I maybe overdid it. At the very least, I shouldn't have made fun of Satoko, who could cook for herself when I'd never even cooked anything other than for recreation before.
Satoko wasn't holding very much of a grudge. But she came all the way to my house and...
Oh shit, but she came all the way to my house and pushed her way in. She's gotta be mad. I quietly took a peek into the kitchen. She definitely looked different than the usual bird-brained Satoko. Her eyes were sharp, and her movements were brisk, to the point where it was a little scary. Then she must have noticed me, because she turned around and shot me an annoyed glare. I cringed in fear and hastily pulled my head back out. She's mad. She's totally mad. How will she take revenge at me? Ugh.
That's just Satoko being serious. Because she doesn't want to fail. She isn't angry or anything.
How can you say she isn't angry? I've never seen Satoko this frightening.
Keiichi-san.
Oh shit.
Keiichi-san, I can hear that, you know.
Sorry. I jumped at Satoko's angry outburst and faced towards the kitchen. I felt exactly like a kid who had done something bad and gotten called to the teacher's lounge.
Where do you keep the miso? The refrigerator's so big. I can't see it anywhere.
I'm sorry. The miso is... It's the middle shelf of the fridge. At the back left, the lower rack.
What is this? You need to close the miso package after you finish with it. It's getting the inside of the refrigerator dirty, isn't it?
I'm sorry. Before I can look for something to wipe it with, Satoko wiped it off with a wet dish towel.
I swear, how are men so bad at cleaning up after themselves? I shudder to think what you'll become as an adult like this.
Couldn't tack back to Satoko today. The only thing I could do was obediently lower my head and apologize. As Satoko nitpicked and I apologized, a good smell began to fill the kitchen.
This is how you prepare the miso for the soup. You scoop a little out with the ladle, break it up with chopsticks. It's important to add a little at the time to keep it tasting it. Dumping the entire thing into the pot is absolutely outrageous.
I'm sorry. I never paid attention in home ec.
You're pathetic! I swear. Men.
I cowered at her annoyed-sounding muttering. But looking at her like this, she seemed quite good at cooking. It had just been overshadowed by Reina's and Rika-chan's artistic abilities. Satoko's skills were clearly enough to get passing marks. Ah yes, my tiny angry wife.
Hey, if you have time to zone out like that, then you can go get the table set. Rika and I will be eating too, so set 3 places.
I'm on it. I hastily took 3 people's worth of dishes and such from the cabinets and headed to the dining room. When I returned there, I could hear laughter from the variety show on the television. Rika-chan was sprawled out on the couch, watching television and relaxing. When she noticed me putting the dishes out from the table, she scampered up.
Dinner time is soon. Dinner time at Keiichi's house. Yippa!
Rika-chan, you're in a good mood. That's a pretty big difference from Satoko.
Satoko's in a bad mood at all. She's enjoying herself more than she has in a long time.
Enjoying herself? Seriously?
She's like how she was when her Nini was with her. It's been a really long time since I've seen Satoko like she's having so much fun.
Nini? The heck is a Nini? Is it the sound cat makes?
Nini means brother. Satoko's older brother.
Satoko's older brother?
His name's Satoshi. Haven't you heard his name before?
Satoshi. Satoshi Hojo. Maybe I have and maybe I haven't. At least, he didn't go to our school. Satoshi, huh? Satoko's older brother. This is the first I've heard of him. She had a brother, huh? I didn't know that. She does have one. Saying that, Rika-chan grinned even more brightly and went, Nippa! Again. When Satoko was with Satoshi, she always looked like she was having fun, just like this. It's been a really long time since I've seen Satoko enjoying herself so much. However, I looked at it, she seemed to be in a bad mood. But her good friend Rika-chan was saying that it was actually the opposite. Is she really enjoying herself? concerned. Isn't that the one for Pokemon, bro? Isn't that the one who had the bat? Correct. Satoshi was the guy who owned the bat. Satoshi was the one Reina said, Keiichi, you're acting like Satoshi, carrying that bat around all of a sudden. Satoshi did that, and then he disappeared. And then in the second arc, when they were explaining the disappearances and why each person disappeared, Satoshi disappeared the year before this one. Huh? Huh? Yeah, the guy who transferred. Air quotes on transferred. Oh no.
She must be remembering the time she spent with her Nini. It's nostalgic.
Nostalgic? Huh. Then, does she live apart from Satoko? Maybe Satoko's older brother Satoshi is actually a lot older than her. He must have gone off on his own and living by himself far away. Satoko seems like she got along well with this Satoshi person.
She did. The two of them got along very well.
She spread her arms wide to demonstrate the width of how well they got along. According to Rika-chan, Satoko supported her docile, slightly unreliable older brother through the nagging. That was their relationship. I see. That certainly applied to the current situation. We had me, unreliable, unable to cook with a single dish properly, and Satoko, who redid it all while scolding me. Could Satoko have been getting a glimpse of her brother, who now lived far away from me? You saw the VOD? Yeah. You didn't realize that it was Satoko's older brother? Yeah, it was. Oh, he gone alright. So, she would always nitpick whatever Satoshi did? But she firmly supported him, and they got along well.
Today, she was with the one. She suggested we should go to Keiichi's house. She said, there's no way unreliable Keiichi-san could possibly make a dinner. We need to go make it for him.
Then, she didn't come here to get revenge, or to even anything like that.
She couldn't leave you alone. Even now, Satoko is a proper little sister.
I was an only child. I didn't know how it felt to have siblings. Of course, I never had a little sister like Satoko, but I felt that in this moment, I was an older brother, obediently and helplessly being looked after by her, without any teasing or messing around. I'm gonna have to give her thanks for her trouble. That's what I honestly thought.
Keiichi-san, do you know where on earth the ladle is?
Oh, sorry. The ladle should be in the drawer to your right. I ran into the kitchen to get the ladle out of the drawer and offered it to Satoko.
It's all done. Have you put the bowls and things out?
Yeah. Everything's A-okay.
Then let's have our meal. Rika, it's time for dinner. Me.
I heard Rika-chan's aversive voice coming from the dining room. Satoko turned off the gas to the flame in the stove, lifted up the pot of miso soup.
Could you bring the rice cooker, Keiichi-san? Be careful not to flip it over, alright?
Right, I'll be careful. I can carry rice cookers just fine without being warned about it. I thought about replying like that, but decided not to. No mean words or witty reports today. Rice with steam billowing off it and miso soup, as well as a handful of side dishes. On the table was a truly firm, family-oriented dinner. So I told you I was gonna watch the whole 2 arcs. Oh, you did, huh? Nice. Nice. They can carry it just fine. Are you sure? Because you nearly set your house on fire trying to cook a basic... Yeah, he set his house on fire. Almost on fire, trying to warm up some vegetables, really. It wasn't weird or extravagant. It was a daily meal, a sort of housewife would make. It was very nonchalant and brimming with liveliness.
Then let us eat.
It was a piece of cake? Oh wow. Good shit then, Risu. You're all caught up. You have all the knowledge. It's so fresh in your mind. You're gonna be ready to tear this question arc apart. Risu's like gonna see like between the lines. He's gonna read the equations in the sky. He's gonna know who the killer is. Big brain, yeah.
Thank you for the food.
At Satoko's command, Rika-chan and I both thanked her in a loud voice. I made light of you, Satoko. You've beaten me soundly.
Do you have a better opinion of me now? I may still not be as good as Rika or Reina, but I can cook far better than the helpless Keiichi-san.
Yeah, I know better now. After I honestly admitted my defeat, Satoko's expression finally softened, and she laughed with her normal loud and cheery voice. Oh, the rice is cooked really well. Though she used the rice cooker, it tasted a little different from the rice my mom made. Maybe she used a different amount of water? Even so, I could feel Satoko's personality from the rice, which made it taste better than usual. I served myself cereal and burnt it somehow. Bruh. That episode of SpongeBob. Oh my god, he burnt my fries. He burnt my patty. He burnt my shake. Stop being so adorable, you tiny gremlin. Has that never happened to you guys? Yeah, no, sorry. First you get the cereal, then you get the milk, then you get the bowl. Don't matter which one's first, the bowl's last. Everyone knows this. The miso soup was a little on the thick side, but it was still delicious. The side dishes, while not exactly flashy, tasted great as well. It was also appetizing and I couldn't stop eating. The side dishes were all so well done too. Satoko, you're not a bad cook at all. I gave my honest impression without a hint of sarcasm. Satoko seemed to have been expecting some, because she praised her so honestly. She got flustered instead. I always pour the milk first, then the cereal, and then the bowl, right? Don't matter which one's first, but the bowl's last. Oh man. And then the bowl, yeah.
Oh ho ho! Your praise honors me, but it's nothing so grand. The side dishes are just things I bought at the store and heated up. This and this, all I did was open the can. I can only really make rice and miso soup myself.
Satoko said, embarrassed, her face a bit flustered. There was none of her normal verbal abuse or sarcasm in there either. I was gonna say that the expression she had on just before this one was like the first time we've ever seen her sprite like smile like that. That was really nice.
I can't make anything except rice and miso soup. But when you get ready-made side dishes and put them on the table too, it turns into something fairly splendid.
My mom uses ready-made side dishes and canned goods too. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. This is a fantastic dinner. I gave her my honest praise. I've never met Satoko's brother, but Satoshi would probably praise her in the same way.
Mm-hmm. Well, I suppose it's enough now that you've come to realize that I can hold my own in the kitchen. Would you like seconds? There's plenty of miso soup still left.
Huh? Did that brat just awkwardly change the subject? When I realized my response had been on the mark, it made me a little happy.
When we eat rice like this, it's fun. Like we're eating with Satoshi.
Rika-chan mentioned Satoko's older brother's name again. Satoko's chopsticks paused, and she looked up at the ceiling.
How nostalgic. I wonder what he could be doing right now.
She had a faraway smile, as if yearning for a friend who had moved away. From how I looked, I got the impression she hadn't seen Satoshi in quite some time. Satoko realized I was giving her a blank stare.
I apologize. Satoshi is my Nini. No, my older brother.
Ah, okay. I see. Nini must have been a nickname only Satoko used for him. It was funny to see her hastily deny it.
I was rather surprised a person with such few living skills had the ability to run away. Well, I'm sure he'll pack up shop at some point and return out of the blue.
So he ran away? There was another story to what Satoko had said so cheerfully. The reason for Satoshi not living with her was a little serious. Everyone had been talking about it in such an upbeat way. I continued to talk about him. Should I have never broached the subject at all? I hastily took a look at Satoko's face after thinking that, but there was no trace of gloomy expression that I had been worrying about. Oh my god. Whose sassy lost child is this? Yes. One Punch Man, yes. Wait, she's capable of not being a gremlin, right? She's such a baby. Ran away. Yeah. Glad you guys are catching on that fast.
Well, he's not old enough to be dreaming of living on his own. Nini wouldn't be able to do it for long anyway. He has no endurance.
Satoshi may not look like it, but he's a very preserving person. He's a lot more preserving than you think.
Rika, you always take Nini's side right away. You're a little too nice to him.
Satoko's just too harsh on Nini. You should treat him more kindly when he comes back. Satoko and Rika-chan's views regarding Nini, aka Satoshi, were parallel to each other. But I could easily tell that both of them really liked him. They were so optimistic too, even though he had run away from them. It was like they were going to see him again next week. Your brain is so fresh that you know what's going on. Humu. Exactly. He waited for him, believing he would surely return. I'd never met him, but I know for sure that this Satoshi person was a really good guy. I had thought Satoko would be deeply hurt by her brother running away, but she had already overcome that. She was still being the energetic little sister, always full of vim and vigor, as if to say that her brother could come back at any time he liked. I thought that Satoko didn't think through anything, and just frolicked and played practical jokes every day, and that was it. But she was really... yeah.
Why are you petting my head?
I roughly rubbed the hand through Satoko's hair. I misunderstood you, Satoko. I didn't know how you were this level-headed. Satoko seemed to think I was making fun of her, and I tried to bat my hand away, but then she saw that there wasn't even a trace of malice in my face, and obediently granted me her head. Yep, Satoko's level-headed. She sure is.
I've been level-headed from the start. I was just playing pranks on you because you always do it to me.
There was her usual provocation, but I decided not to buy into it today. You're right. You were just doing it to get along with me. But you really are level-headed. Good for you.
Is that actually a compliment? It seems like you're making fun of me.
I'm not trying to make fun of you at all. I'm seriously complimenting you. Because if I was making fun of you, Rika-chan would be petting your head too.
That's right, isn't it? When Rika makes fun of people, she usually pets their head.
These canned sardines are delicious. Rika-chan went nippa, and her smile became even brighter. Her attitude was clear as day, but it was annoyingly cute, so both Satoko and I suddenly burst into laughter. That laughter lightened up the table. The table itself was so dull and simple that I never thought that people could be laughing like this around it. And then, I finally came to realize something really obvious. Dinner is better if you're laughing while you're eating, huh? Of course it is. Laughing makes it taste better.
How rude. The food is good because I'm a good cook, obviously.
The harmonious moment, this happy circle. It was completely different than spending time with family, but somehow nostalgic. Satoko, do you want to see Nini?
I didn't say Nini. Call him my brother, please.
Hey, wait, you've been saying Nini this, Nini that this whole time. I grinned rudely and decided to just call him brother like she told me to. Satoko, do you want to see your brother? Rika-chan stopped eating and looked back at the fourth between the face and Satoko's. Satoko was smiling and she looked like she was trying to choose her words. And just from that, Satoko conveyed her feelings. Honestly, she wished he would come home right now, but she wasn't that weak. Satoshi should just do what he wanted until he was satisfied. In return, she'd let him have the scolding of a lifetime. And then she'd have dinner with him, and lay out a futon for him.
Well, of course I want to see him again. It's been almost a year.
It's been that long already? Rika-chan smiled thinly, her eyes appearing to look far away.
Well, Nini can do what he wants. It would lighten my load if he came back, with more muscles and knowing how to do housework, of course.
See? You said Nini again.
You said it. I did not. I would never call Nini Nini.
Oh no. Damn these feels. Wonder how long till Reino crashes the party, bro. Things rapidly returned to the usual lively atmosphere of lunchtime at school. But nothing changed about Satoko's feelings toward her brother. She was living so bravely and so strongly. Hey Satoshi, your sister's trying so hard to watch the place while you're gone, isn't she? Give it a rest. Come back soon, you got it? Satoko, it's time to clean up or else we'll get sleepy. It was when we were all watching TV and enjoying some tea after dinner. Rika-chan let out a big yawn and then spoke. Satoko and I both looked at the clock and noticed how late it had gotten. Nah, but perhaps we both realized already. We just didn't want this warm moment to end. Maybe we didn't want it to say anything.
Oh, this will not do. I still haven't washed the dishes yet.
Don't worry about it. I can do that much at least. You made a great dinner. I can't let you do all the dishes too.
Are you sure you'll be alright? When people who are not used to try and wash them, the soap can make the dishes slip out of your hands, you know.
She's turned into the perfect nagging little sister. It was charming and awkward. Emotions like that were all mixed up inside me. I gave her a vague, dry smile. Keiichi can at least wash dishes. If you break one and hurt yourself, I'll give you pettings at school tomorrow. Rika-chan yawned again, so wide you could see her molars.
Is it really alright? Keiichi-san's pretty unreliable despite how he looks.
Oh, give me a break. Looks like Keiichi's approval ratings have plummeted in Satoko's mind. But don't worry. I'll clean those dishes up, no problem. So don't worry about it and go home. Actually, at this hour, I can't let you two go home by yourselves. I'll take you there. Let me find the key to my bike.
Once you've taken us home, Keiichi-san will be the one going home by himself. You'll be in big trouble if you get lost in the roads at night and end up in Takasuro. There's no houses or lights out there at all.
I was trying to worry about them going home, but I didn't think about they'd be worried about me getting lost. Am I really that unreliable? Surely is a bit cynical, but yeah. This feeling I have, it's not bad. So I ended up not needing to escort them. I saw off Satoko and Rika-chan on the gate. Thanks a lot for today. Thanks to you, I got to have a good cultural dinner. If Satoko hadn't come, Keiichi would be growling and yowling right now.
Truly. It's really good that we came.
They really saved me. I gave another bow and filled with gratitude.
Oh, yes. I put the rice and side dishes in the container. So use that for your bento tomorrow. And for breakfast, you can eat some bread and jam. Strawberry jam and peanut butter were in your refrigerator, in the middle shelf to the right. Cocoa powder, too. That was in the upper right door of the cupboard.
I know all that. You don't have to go into detail. I was about to say that, but then I decided to just humbly listen. Am I really... Bro, did you already forget the house fire? It was then that I finally realized that Satoko, who had appeared to be in a bad mood, was in fact in a great one, just like Rika-chan had said. In that thought, she nagged a lot. She was very kind. And good night.
Make sure to brush your teeth before you go to bed. You have to do it at least 5 minutes.
Got it, Satoko. I'll brush my teeth and make breakfast for tomorrow. And I'll be sure not to forget the bento.
You need to wake up earlier than usual, or you won't be able to get your breakfast or bento ready. Got it? If you like, I can give you a call and a little earlier to wake you up instead of using an alarm clock.
You don't have to go that far. I'll set my alarm clock and wake up early. Thanks for being so concerned, though. Satoko looked at me like she was fault-finding to do, but then she stopped and, leaving me with a good night, got on her bike and disappeared into the nighttime road. Rika-chan went to do the same, but then remembered something and came back. Oh, what's wrong, Rika-chan? Did you forget something?
Keiichi, you get 100 points today. Clap, clap, clap.
Rika-chan suddenly complimented me. She clapped her small hands. What was she on about? I didn't do anything worthy of praise, did I? I nearly burned down the house after all.
Satoko probably felt like her Nini had come home. I think she was having a lot of fun. Once in a while, I want you to go along with Satoko's scolding in the future.
Are you telling me to be like an older brother that she can scold instead of Satoshi? Rika-chan didn't say anything. She just smiled and went, Napa. This Satoshi person. He has such a great little sister. So what was he so unhappy about? If I were Satoshi, I would have never run away from home. Satoshi had his own circumstances, I'm sure. I didn't know what he was unhappy with. But whatever the reason, it was no excuse for abandoning Satoko. I hope he comes back soon. I probably can't play the role of her actual Nini forever, you know.
It's okay. You were just like Satoshi today. Please do it again sometime.
Well, if that what makes Satoko happy, I'd take on this easy role whenever I needed.
Rika!
Satoko stopped her bike under a distant exterior light, called out to her friend who wasn't coming no matter how long she waited.
Okay, I have to go. Good night.
Yeah, good night. I can't replace Satoshi, but Keiichi could do it. There's one last piece of baggage I need to shoulder. Leaving me with that, Rika-chan sped off on her bike. She rode up next to Satoko, and then the two of them disappeared in the blink of an eye. Satoshi. Seriously, come back soon, got it? If you come home really late, I'll punch you in the nose. So let's try our best until that day comes, Satoko. Even if I can no longer hear the sounds of their bicycles, I stood there for a while, seeing them off. Hey. Oh my, oh my. Alright, let's view this tip. Right, I always forget the music here. I know one thing for sure. Satoko could fend off an entire army invasion by holing up in the mountain. I know all about it. Satoko was one of the Soviet military advisors and gave training on traps to that one country. Stop saying weird things. Somebody help me. How did it come to this? What traps did we fall for, and how did we fall for them? That was a cute ending to the chapter. I know, right? Don't get too comfy. Mion was caught in a profusely thin pitfall she couldn't escape from. Only her head was poking up above the ground. Reina's head was completely covered by a tin bucket, and she was squirming around in vain attempting to remove it. Either of these were really funny, but that's where it ended. At least they had their feet on the ground. Kei-chan, what about you? Think you can get out of that? Hurry up and get out so you can save this old man. Hey, you're the one who should be breaking out and saving me, Mion. What do you expect me to do in a freaking bamboo mat? I was wrapped up in a bamboo mat, hanging 2 meters above the ground. Ugh. What was this trap and how did I fall into it? Huh? It was Satoko. This was all started when they suggested that I was unfamiliar with nature, having grown up in the city, and proposed a little exploration into the mountain.
But Reina doesn't really know how it's back there either. Reina might get lost. Oh.
The mountain out back, huh? I played there a lot when I was little, but I haven't gone there in years. If you get lost out there, things can get pretty dangerous.
You can leave the mountain to us. The whole thing is our playground. Isn't that right, Rika? Yeah.
Oh, I see. How reassuring. We'll defer to you two in the time and have our tour guides.
Wait, Keiichi-kun. The summer vacation guidebook says not to play in the mountain because you'll get lost.
It isn't summer vacation yet, so it's okay. I love the logic there. Alright, this is Higurashi. Almost forgot. Right? We were so happy for a moment, we kind of forgot.
The mountain's always been our playground. Our backyard. We know all the secret paths and shortcuts.
Yes, both Satoko and Rika-chan knew the path like the back of their hands. Thanks to them, we had our fill of fresh air, gorgeous views, and Mother Nature, the likes of which you could never see in the village. But things got strange partway through.
Oh yes, everyone, I have something to say. From here on, you must follow exactly where I go.
Huh? What are you talking about all of a sudden?
It would be safer to do as Satoko says. Oh my! Hey, Mi-chan, look at this! What is it? Should I pull it? Should I?
Suddenly, when Reina pulled the kite string, a bundle of bamboo spears fastened to a tree branch all came raining down and clattered right next to where Reina was standing. Well, what? Huh?
What is this? What? Ah! This brings back memories. Satoko made this trap in the second semester of the second grade. That was a close one. The tips of these spears are covered in dog poop, so if one of them hurts you, the wound will start to fester.
Well, when did this turn into frickin' Vietnam? According to Satoko and Rika-chan, earlier in elementary school, Satoko had been on a trap-making craze and set them up along every inch of the mountain.
Keiichi-kun, maybe they didn't tell us this not to go in the mountains because we'd get lost, but because it's dangerous.
Yun and I both nodded wholeheartedly at Reina's hypothesis. What the fuck?
Come now. We are hurrying on ahead. If we do not return soon, it'll get dark. If it gets dark, it may even become more dangerous for me.
But you're the one who brought us on this crazy mountain. Why was an average healthy Japanese boy like me being forced to deal with light-threatening booby traps? And then, the very moment Satoko and Rika-chan got out of sight, there was 3 of us that got caught in the nice little traps together. Someone get me out! I have to go to the bathroom!
Never mind that. Someone get the bucket off of me. I can't see in front of me. Oh.
Wait, Reina, don't struggle around too much. I can see your panties.
Huh? You saw? You saw? Keiichi-kun, you saw? Oh.
Of course you can see them. You may not be in the bucket, but you definitely... Bucket Reina was using me as a sandbag, and Mion was crying.
You can't get out of the pitfall? How sad, how sad.
Dog poop spear Satoko was ahead of the times.
Geez, didn't I already tell you all? You weren't supposed to leave my side.
I finally had an epiphany. Satoko had been so bent on taking one out to the mountain, because she wanted to brag about all the traps she'd set up over the years. You should have just stopped just showing this to us. I didn't need to experience it how it felt. Rika-chan pets the 3 of our heads in sequence, in an incredibly satisfied mood. Hey, there's chapter 1, baby! Save our game. Woo! Wow. Hello. Satoko sure is something, right? And we get this whole book to experience Satoko, baby. I love her so much. Her and Satoshi are my favorite characters, I'd say. So we know better than to cross Satoko. Facts. Sorry, I'm just kind of basking in the enjoyment. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Looking forward to seeing how these traps will come into the climax. Feel like I've unlocked the future. But yes, thank you so much for coming and hanging out for chapter 1 of the 3rd arc. Woo! Pachi, pachi, pachi! Pachi, pachi, pachi! Yeah, I'm not sure how long this one is, because like that opening title scroll made me think it's gonna be shorter, but I don't know for sure. Your brain is so massive. Oh yeah, Satoko screen time. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother. Bachi, bachi, bachi. Yes. 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 I appreciate you, lamb chops. I'm gonna be wrapping it up. Doing all the voices, I think, is what does such a number on my throat. I swear. Because it's like, some streams it's like, oh yeah, I can yap for 4 hours. And then when it's Higurashi, it's like, it hurts. Because I think I'm trying to stretch it. And you got to see your beloved Mion. Dude, facts. Facts. Your demon wife. Okay, that makes more sense. So yeah, I'm not sure we'll do chapter 2. I'm not sure how many chapters there are. If it's like the other 2 books, there'll be 12. If it's not like the other 2 books, I have no fucking idea. I guess I could look on Steam. Actually, wait. Let me look on Steam. Hold on, I can do this. 14 chapters? Question mark? I'm gonna go with 14. It looks like maybe 14. I did quick Google and I'm seeing 12 or 13. I can't trust Google. Google's the one that told me there was 20 chapters in the first book. Like, they can't be trusted. I don't know what people are doing on the Higurashi, like, posts on, you know, the internet. Nobody knows what they're talking about. Brain went derp, you're good. That's my brain all the time. Burp. But yeah, I mean, Steam makes it look like there's like 14. So we're gonna go with there's 14 chapters until I'm proven wrong. Let's see. I'll be streaming tomorrow, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. It's the 4th of July here in the States, so, you know, and I'm proud to be an American. I'll be working on art fight stuff, probably. I mean, not probably, I will be. Around that number, yeah. So if I don't see you then, I'll see you when I see you. I hope you all have a good night and good evening, lamb chops. Bye-bye.